Welcome back. This is another video in the series dedicated to the Spacemap Go assignment for immersive audio students at New England School of Communications at Hudson University. How to save, that's what this video is going to be about. Saving on Spacemap Go, in Spacemap Go, is a bit cumbersome, and honestly, I think it's a bit buggy because I run into problems with it rather frequently. But you can do it, and I can do it, and we can figure it out. Up here in the upper left in the project settings drop down, this is where you save. So let's save our project for the first time. And the first thing you got to realize is when you're saving it, you're actually saving it in two places. You're saving it to the physical Galaxy loudspeaker processor, and you have the option, and you can save it as well to the iPad. And that's the iOS files. File structure. And so that's what these two check marks are. Do you want to save it to the iPad? Do you want to save it to the Galaxy? And for this assignment, you're going to want to leave these both on all the time. You do not want to turn these on. There's no benefit for this for you, and it might even mess some things up. So leave these ones off. For naming, I have a keyboard set up right now, so you're not seeing the pop-up keyboard, but you'll obviously be able to type via that. What you're going to want to name your file is, we're going to name it, where is it? SMG Project, Spacemap Go Project. And dot or gap, whatever, your name. And then we'll hit proceed here, and it's going to save it to the Galaxy. And of course, you're going to name it your name, not your name, obviously. So do you want to save it to the Galaxy? Yes, you do. And when it's done saving to the Galaxy, and of course I was just saving it to a virtual Galaxy, now we get to the iOS saving part of this, and you want to save it to files on the iPad. And then it usually defaults, it seems to default to some random folders here. You want to go to the Spacemap Go folder. If you lose that, it's basically on my iPad, and there's a Spacemap Go folder. And you go into it, and you're going to want to go into, this is the root directory for all things Spacemap Go, but you want to go into the immersive audio folder, and you want to go to the SMG folder, SMG assignment folder, and now you're going to want to make a folder for yourself. Of course, your name is your name, so make a folder for yourself, and now you're going to save in this. So I'm saving SMG project, your name, so I'm going to hit save here, and it should be saved. And so here's where it gets weird. Most of the time, for whatever reason, it saves it twice. So if I go back in and try to save again, save project, and I go through the whole procedure here, maybe I'm just doing an update here, save it back to the Galaxy, and now I'm going to save again to the file system. So I hit save to files. And before I go into your folder, and actually, it seems to be at no particular folder here, so it seems to have lost where it's going. So I'm going to go back to on my iPad, and I'm going to go into Spacemap Go. And what's weird is it just saved it in the Spacemap Go folder. And this is an experience that I have had numerous times where it's saving two copies. It's saving one in this root level Spacemap Go folder, and it's also going to save it where you told it to go, which is in the immersive audio folder, SMG assignment, your name. That's the file I just saved. So this is sort of problematic. It's putting the file in two places. Maybe it's a bug. I don't know. Keep saving in your folder. Keep using the files in your folder. At the end, if you don't mind, try to clean it out of the main folder or leave it there, and I will clean it out later. But what's most important is that when I go to grade your assignment, there's only one file in your folder. And it is okay to do the conservative thing here and maybe save different versions of this. You know, I highly recommend people save this as, SMG project 02 and 03 consecutively as you work through the project. The Spacemap Go may give you some problems, and you may want to go back to an earlier version. So I do recommend you do this. Just realize it's now going to save this file in two places as well. And it's going to keep saving them in that other folder. In the end, what you probably want to do, and you need to be careful here and not erase other people's files, but go back to the home screen on the iPad, click the home screen button, and, sorry, I double-clicked it. Open up the Files app. The Files app is how you clean things out here, and you can see here's my SMG file, your name too, that it just made. These are the two files here. I'm in the Spacemap Go file here. I don't need these. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to right-click, and I'm actually not exactly sure how you right-click on the iPad itself. I'm just going to click on it and drag it. You could drag it to the old projects folder if you want to just, that's a fine place for me. It's not quite the trash can, but these are extra files here that the iPad made for, that Spacemap Go made for us that you don't need. If you want to clean them out, I'm having a hard time with that. Why is it letting me? Holding it down gets you to this, to the right click. And of course I can right click with this mouse here, and I can delete it, or I can move it somewhere. I'm just going to delete that. Note that it is still in your immersive audio folder. It is still in your SMG folder, and there it is. If you end up multiple files here in the end, that's going to confuse me when I grade. By all means, make a backup session or old sessions or whatever you want to call it. This is going to be where you put your in progress sessions. And so when you're finally done with this project, have just one. Oops, that's what happens when you click on it. So I got to go back. I find the iOS complicated. I'm getting better at it. But anyway, whatever your final project is, put the old ones in this folder. So I'm only faced with one. Okay? I want to make sure if there's anything else I need to mention about saving it. It is a little bit challenging on the iPad and Spacemap Go. But I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. I do say, make sure you look at the written instructions as well for this assignment. There's a lot more in the written instructions and a little bit more about what's actually contained in the project file. But we'll, for the moment here, we will go back to, I'm going to home button on the iPad and go back to Spacemap Go and get ready, and we'll have another video here in a moment. Okay? Excellent. Thank you very much. Goodbye.